Welcome to Diversity Matters. This program is designed to highlight the diversity-related activities throughout New Hanover County schools and the greater Wilmington community. I'm Valita Quattlebaum, Chief Communications Officer for New Hanover County Schools. This month on our program, I'm joined in the studio by Ann David, the co-chair of the 2014 Education Bond Committee. We'll talk about the importance of this bond to everyone in our community and just how this bond will benefit every student in the New Hanover County school system. Then in the second half of our program, my co-host Maria Black will be joined by Shannon Smiles, the new Director of Early Childhood Education for the school district. Ms. Smiles will outline her background, her goals, and the benefits of the Early Childhood Education program for the district's children. So, don't go away. This edition of Diversity Matters will get started right after this short break.
Emergencies can happen to anyone and turn lives upside down. We know.
So you and your family should have a plan.
Does everyone in your family have someone to call and check in with?
Do you know the emergency plan for your kids' schools?
If your kids can't get in touch with you, do they know what to do?
Have you picked a neighborhood meeting place?
And a backup meeting place?
Talk to your family.
Because having a plan is a great place to start.
This message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Diversity Matters. Joining me today is Beth Hollis, the Director of Nourish North Carolina. She's here to discuss the key role that Nourish North Carolina plays in the lives of many of our students and families and their partnership with New Hanover County Schools. Welcome, Beth, to Diversity Matters.
Thank you for having me.
Nourish North Carolina is such an interesting program. Can you tell us a little bit about it and how it got started?
Yes. Nourish NC is a small nonprofit that works strictly in New Hanover County with the New Hanover County schools. In 2008, our founder, Kim Karslake, realized that there were students at Carolina Beach Elementary School that were not eating on the weekends. The only meals they were eating were the two that they ate at school. And so she got some moms together and started packing backpacks for them. And from there it led to the Murray Middle School inquiring about it. And in 2010 we became a 501c3, and today we are in 23 schools and serving 505 students.
That is amazing. You know, you often think about hungry children in Africa and in third world countries, but we have hungry children obviously right here in New Hanover County schools.
Yes, we have over 1,500 at or below poverty level students in our county.
And where does the funding come from for you all to be able to do this?
We are funded through grants, local individuals, local businesses that support us.
Mm-hmm.
And
are you a part of the United Way?
We are a part of the United Way.
So that's our school district's one of our major fundraising campaigns. So would we be able to designate funds towards you?
My understanding is that you're able to do that, yes.
Okay, all right. And you were telling me earlier you don't serve anyone outside of New Hanover County schools.
No.
How does that work?
We work very closely with the social workers in the schools, and with the support of the school board, New Hanover County School Board, and the principals at the schools and the social workers, they identify our students. And they we pack the bags and we take it to the schools, and they very discreetly place it in the child's backpack every Friday.
Mm-hmm. So there's not embarrassment or stigma.
No, we work very, very hard not to bring attention to our students.
So if I'm a parent and I'm watching this show and my school isn't one of the 23, how would a school or a parent go about becoming a part of this?
The parents would have to contact the social workers, and then the social workers would contact me. And honestly, to grow right now is just a funding issue. Mm-hmm. So we would see if the funding's there so that we can continue to grow in the schools. And our goal is to be in every school and to serve as many students as we can in New Hanover County.
Wow, and do you see that as a need? All of our schools need this program?
All of them do not need it some might have like 1 or 2 students that need it, and if that's the case, we'll serve 1 or 2. So some of our higher need schools that are at 98% free and reduced lunch, we will serve more at that school.
Right.
So we serve where the need.
But you have students at other schools like Parsley
Yes.
and so forth?
Yes, we do.
Okay, all right. So what do you see as the greatest need in our area?
You know, I think the greatest need is awareness of that there are hungry students right here, that it is not something that is outside the country.
Right.
And the more awareness, obviously will bring more funding, and then we will be able to feed more students.
Okay. And does your organization do anything special around the holidays?
We do. We just finished on Saturday packing 505 Christmas holiday boxes that has 16 days worth of food in it. And we're in the process now of getting it to the parents, working with the schools to get that out to the parents.
Wow. And how do you get your feedback? How do you know, I mean, obviously parents appreciate it, but how do you get feedback and evaluate the program?
We send home questionnaires twice a year. And we ask, you know, do you like the food that's being sent home? Would you like to see something different? Is there anything we can change? Is there anything that's working that you love? You know, tell us.
What are some of the types of food that you send home?
We send home on a weekly basis a can of ravioli, a box of macaroni and cheese, canned tuna, oatmeal, cereal, peanut butter, and we also send snacks. And, you know, we have to send stuff home that students can prepare for themselves, because we do have 5-year-olds in New Hanover County that are cooking their own food. So we have to send microwave type stuff home to those students.
Having done this now for what, 6, 7 years?
Yes.
Is there anything that surprises you still?
You know, the thing that surprises me is how the community comes together, and it really shouldn't, because we live in an amazing community. But it's just every day I am humbled and by the outpouring of this community and the schools, and just their willingness to step up and help these students.
Yeah, we do live in a very loving and giving community.
Yes.
And hopefully this interview will help more people become aware of it.
Right.
So what is it that Nourish NC is most in need of now?
Well, one thing Nourish would like to do is to be able to provide a fresh produce box to our students.
I was wondering about fresh fruits and vegetables.
Yes, so we're talking about that in 2015. And funding for that is going, you know, just add an extra $10 to what you're already giving to help us provide a monthly produce box. Or so that's our biggest need right now.
Okay. And so if someone's interested in donating or volunteering with Nourish NC, what do they need to do?
The best way to do that is our website, which is www.nourishnc.org, and we have a store on there where you can go in and donate peanut butter or jelly or a holiday box or a spring break box or a summer box or weekend meals for a student. So it's all right there online. You can do that. And our volunteers also the same way. You can, we have all of our opportunities are listed, and you just sign up right online. Or they can give us a call at 910-465-0995, and we'd love to have people in the warehouse.
And where is that located?
We're at 601 Greenfield Street, so the corner of 6th and Greenfield.
Okay, so people can come there and help
Yes.
pack snacks and
We
things like that.
had over 200 volunteers come in Saturday morning to help pack our holiday boxes.
Wow,
So
that's amazing.
It was awesome.
And so what are your challenges as where you want to take the organization in the future?
We would like to grow the organization 20% every year. Our challenges, as I said, are funding. Also, some of the challenges are identifying the students because it's you know, they don't want to be known.
Right.
The parents don't want to fill out the paperwork because they don't want to label their child. But we work really, really hard not to do that, and we just need to get that word out to the parents.
So when the parent doesn't fill out the paperwork, how do you find out? Is it like, does a teacher maybe notice a child?
The teachers will recommend
class?
to the social workers, and then the social workers will reach out to the parents. We don't actually know our students. We see our students' name, but if they walked up to us on the street, we would not know who they are.
Okay. And have you met any resistance to this? I mean, I know, I don't know, I've heard some opposing viewpoints to it.
Yeah, I think there are a couple, you know, just a few, not many, that think we are embarrassing the child, or but for the most part, no, because we do everything so privately. And even with our middle school and high schoolers, we ended up packing a monthly box for them that has 4 weekend meals in it, and it is either picked up by the parent at the warehouse or picked up or delivered to their home. Because
really? You do the home deliveries?
We do, because the students at
Right.
that
I can't
age are
imagine a high
not going to
school
get
student, right.
go pick up a bag.
Right.
So we're doing everything we can to not embarrass the child and not put a stigma on the child within their peer group.
So how are you set up? How's your organization set up as far as staffing and your board?
We have a board that consists of 7 members right now, and we have 3 staff, and we work very, very consistently with volunteers. That they, you know, it's the executive director, the assistant director, and a warehouse manager.
Is it a year-round organization?
It is.
What do you do in the summertime?
We provide in June a box or 2 that has 10 weeks worth of food in it that is sent home with the student.
Okay. Wow, what a great program. I'm so grateful to you that you're doing that for our students.
Well, thank
We
you.
appreciate it.
We couldn't do what we do without the New Hanover County Schools.
Awesome, a great partnership that we have with you.
Yes.
Now, don't go away. Up next, my co-host Maria Black sits down with Sarah Pascal with Interfaith Refugee Ministry. Diversity Matters will continue right after this short break.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome to this edition of Diversity Matters. Today, I'll be speaking with Sarah Pascal, Office Coordinator for Wilmington area for the Interfaith Refugees Ministry. Let's hear what all she has to share. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, can you just tell us what is the Interfaith Ministry?
Yes, Interfaith Refugee Ministry is the refugee resettlement agency in Wilmington. We're the only refugee resettlement agency here locally, and we're a branch of our headquarters in New Bern, North Carolina. What we do is help refugees that are coming through the U.S. Refugee Admissions Program to rebuild their lives here in Wilmington.
Okay.
And we work through some core services for the first 30 to 90 days in the country.
Okay.
And we can serve people for up to 5 years after they come.
Wow. Okay, so then can you tell us who is a refugee?
Yes, yes. Well, a refugee, a legal refugee, it's actually a legal definition that they have fled their country of origin due to persecution. Sometimes it's war, but it's always some type of persecution based on religion, ethnicity, race, or political opinion. And they've fled the borders of their homeland, and they actually get this legal status through the United Nations High Commission for Refugees overseas.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it sounds like there's a process to it. How did they get here?
Very good question. It's a long, complicated process that takes many years. I would say on average between 5 to 7 years or more for people to go through the process. It starts depending on where they're coming from. Many of Wilmington's refugees are coming from Burma in Southeast Asia. We also have some from Cuba and Colombia and Iraq. But the process in Burma, many have fled to refugee camps along the Thai-Burma border in Thailand, and some have come through Malaysia. And they go to a processing center in that neighboring country and go through a series of interviews with the U.S. State Department, other branches of government. They have lots of background checks, security clearances to go through to make sure that they are who they say they are and they are true refugees. And if they're approved, they can be put in a pipeline to get resettled to a third country, such as the U.S.
Okay. And when you share about that, picturing, I mean, is that like a whole family? Do you have individuals just coming, or is it like a whole family? All of a sudden it's like a mom, dad, children, or just individuals?
It is some of both. It depends on how they applied overseas. If they fled their country all on their own, you know, usually they're fleeing in emergency type situations. They may or may not be living with their family in their country of origin. So if they come on their own and they meet up with their family in the refugee camp, they can be processed together as a case. But we also do have, I would say approximately 50% of Wilmington's refugees coming either as single adults or couples without children. But many do have children also.
Okay. And how about expenses getting here? Who pays for that? Is that part of the program?
It is part of the program. They get a travel loan through the International Organization for Migration, IOM, to pay for their airfare to the U.S. And then 6 months after they arrive, they start paying off that travel loan after they start working and earning some income. They're expected to pay that off so that future refugees can come.
Oh, wow. What a great idea. So there's that, you know, level of accountability also attached to it. They're being helped, but there's also an expectation when things settled and get better for them. And in that process, what are some of the services that your group, your agency, allows them, you know, to do? You know, what do you do?
Well, we have 3 different programs. The first one is called a reception and placement program. It's similar across the U.S. And what that is a program where we get information from the State Department even before they come, and we set up the housing before they come, we meet them at the airport, and then after that, during the first month or 2, we're very, very busy helping them learn about Wilmington and life in the U.S. We have a cultural orientation program, case management and employment services. With case management, we enroll the children in schools. We get the adults enrolled in English classes. Some come knowing some English, but we enroll them anyway just so they have a chance to practice and make ties to the community. And then the main goal of refugee resettlement is to get them economically self-sufficient as soon as possible. So as soon as they have a home, they're enrolled in school, and they have a health screening, we start looking for a job for them and helping them learn some job-related skills so that they can support themselves and their family soon after arrival. And then after those initial months, we can continue serving the family for up to 5 years with case management and employment services. So it's really a case-by-case basis. Whatever the family's individual needs and goals are, we help them meet those.
But 5 years, that seems, you know, that's good. I mean, it's not like, okay, we help you get your job, we train you, now you're on your own.
We're always there for support along the way, and some become self-sufficient very quickly and they don't really need us and they'd rather, you know, just come back and give us updates. And then there are some families that, because of their background, they may have lived in a refugee camp for 20 years before coming to the U.S. So there's a large learning curve, and we're there to do extended orientations and facilitate medical appointments for the kids on an ongoing basis for those families that really need it.
Do you find the other agencies in the area to already be educated about this process? I mean, is it easy? Do you guys just kind of, collaborate?
We have many agencies we collaborate with really well. It's of course still a process. We've only been open since 2010, so there are many places that don't yet know about us and who refugees are and where they come from. But we work very well with the school system, with different employers, with the Department of Social Services and healthcare providers. They know about us and they work really well with us. We're lucky to have such a supportive community here in Wilmington.
And what about, you were, mentioning the different countries and all. How do you bridge the communication, the language barrier? Are you, your staff knows more than one language, or do you resource to the community for that level of support, or how do you attack that area in particular?
Good question. It's a continuing challenge, the language barrier, but it's a good challenge. And we do have our caseworker on staff is from Burma. He actually came as a refugee himself about a year ago. He speaks Karen and Burmese. Those are the two primary languages of our caseload. We're lucky to have wonderful volunteers who speak Spanish. So for our Cuban and Colombian clients, we have that language access, and that is actually taken into consideration before refugees arrive, before the State Department would send someone here to make sure we have that language capacity here in Wilmington.
Okay, great. And you mentioned, and I'm familiar with that one, about the schools. Several of the children are pretty much, your children, through the agency are in our schools. How is that going? What do they tell you? And can you tell me what are some of the schools, the names of the schools you guys are placing children at?
Yes,
what areas?
Definitely. Well, we enroll all children in school within their first month of arrival. So when they're very fresh to the country, we'll take them and we'll have a language proficiency test to see what their language proficiency is, how well they speak English. And based on that, they'll be enrolled in various schools. For the elementary level, College Park has a large population, and they work wonderfully with our children, as do all the schools. Sunset Park is a newer school that we've just begun working with at the elementary level. Williston Middle School and the New Hanover High School have large refugee populations. And the teachers, from what I hear, the teachers like to have the kids in the classroom. They're hardworking. Many of the parents, part of their goals for their family when they get here is to make sure that their kids have a good education. So it's highly valued, and even if the parents may not be able to help with homework and with that language barrier, they really do want the children to succeed. So that's wonderful. They want to participate.
Absolutely. And what about the adult classes? You also have a partnership, and then the parents can go and learn English as well.
Yes, we have many partners that teach adult language classes. Cape Fear Community College, Cape Fear Literacy Center, Literacy Council, I'm sorry, and multiple different churches actually have classes that they've designed specifically for the refugees. And they love it. They would go to English class every night if it's available. Yes.
Oh, that's great. I'm so excited. I actually recently learned, about your organization, and I was just really excited too, because I really didn't know that you guys were here. And I am guessing you have offices in other areas in the state. Therefore, it's almost like, okay, so Wilmington, it's growing, and families are settling here. So perhaps that prominent the need for your office to be here. How great.
Yeah, we have only one other office of Interfaith Refugee Ministry, that's in New Bern, but with the U.S. Refugee Program, they're very similar. In other states, there are actually 10 national agencies that have resettlement programs, and they look for welcoming communities like Wilmington to become homes for people that really are just looking for opportunities in life, and we couldn't be happier to be here.
Okay, and about how many, would you say, how many families or how many people come into Wilmington a year through your office?
Last year, in fiscal year 2014, 69 came through, and 60 of those were from Burma. In next year, in 2015, it'll be approximately 80 people. And since we've been open in 2010, the local office opened, we've resettled about 300 refugees here in our community.
Okay, wonderful. And as we close, what will you want the audience to remember from this conversation? Any needs, any areas of collaboration?
Sure. Well, first I just want to thank the Wilmington community for being so welcoming to refugees. If you're interested in getting involved with Interfaith Refugee Ministry, we always have opportunities for volunteering. If you speak a second language, then you'd like to share your talents and skills with that, we can use Spanish, Burmese, Karen, Arabic, multiple languages. Come and see me. And also we take donations to set up apartments for incoming refugees. So any kind of apartment, furniture or dishes, linens, towels, that kind of thing, you can drop them off at our office, right across from the university on College Road.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
If you would like to learn more about the Interfaith Refugee Ministry and opportunities to volunteer, log into www.helpingrefugees.org or call 910-538-0714. Now, don't go away because Diversity Matters will continue after these messages.
I wish I could go back when I didn't need someone to do my hair, back when I could still say my husband's name, back when I could have called 911 but didn't, back when I first felt the warning signs of a stroke but did nothing. I wish I could go back, but I can't.
With a stroke, time lost is brain lost. At the first warning signs, take action immediately.
Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Diversity Matters. If you'd like more information about our district's ESL program, call Maria Black at 254-4202. And please feel free to call the New Hanover County Schools Public Relations Department at 254-4245 if you have a story idea for future editions of Diversity Matters. Until next time, I'm Valita Quattlebaum, and on behalf of my co-host Maria Black, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next month right here on Diversity Matters.